Heber is with us in Salt Lake City. Hi, Heber. How are you?
Good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I've got a question for you about diversification. I'm the CEO of a mechanical contracting company, and our revenue is around $90 million a year. And we'd like to diversify our client base, and we're wondering how we do this and still make money in multiple market niches. Is it better to buy another company in that space and combine, or go out headhunting key people in the sectors we want to get into? And I just wondering which way is the best way. I kind of feel guilty stealing employees or headhunting them from other companies.
Well, recruiting happens from other companies every day. There's nothing to feel guilty about on that. The only rule we have at Ramsey on that is we don't recruit or poach out of our friends. And so,
Okay.
you know, like I've got a friend. I mean, if it's a company that we have a relationship with, otherwise, then we don't hire their team members away without, or even talk to them without their permission. And so we treat that like an athletic situation. Like if you're going to talk to the coach, you know, it's not unusual for you to call the athletic director and get permission to talk to the coach. It's kind of a courtesy thing, you know. And so we treat it like that with friends. But companies that we don't have any relationship or knowledge of, obviously we can hire. I mean, we don't target certain companies and poach them, so to speak, but we recruit from anybody, and I don't think there's anything to feel guilty about, or there's nothing unethical about that at all.
Okay, so it sounds like, because I've had a banker tell me, it's better to go out and recruit key people than it is to pay a premium for a business when you can get those people. My one concern is, if you can recruit them away, how loyal are they going to be if someone else comes along?
It depends on why they're coming, okay? If they're only coming because you stole them based on money, the first time somebody else comes along with more money, they'll leave you. So you don't want that. You don't want to get in that game at all. But if you've got a startup and that's appealing to them, they want to be a part of a startup and they want to get a ground floor or something, and they have the opportunity to move into leadership where they're in a big company now and maybe they're stuck in the ladder, you know, and so something like that, or they like the culture of your company and who you are and what you represent in the market. People come to Ramsey all the time because of who we are. You know, because we help people and they want to do something, they want to do work that matters. That hasn't got anything to do with money. Now we pay them well too, but I would never suggest, and I would try here to never hire someone who's only jumping over here for money, more money, because they'll jump to the next place for more money, like you said. I probably would agree. Although it makes me cringe to agree with a banker, but I probably would agree with your banker that, just staffing it and building it organically is probably going to be a lot less expensive than buying something. Now, if you're buying something that's not at a premium, it might be that. And we've looked at a few situations. We've actually bought out a couple of small software companies, and we didn't buy them for their software. We bought them for their team. So we got the developers, and so we brought them in that way and just bought out the little company. But the little company was not at a premium. It was just like these guys wanted to get a little of their money back, and it was cheaper than recruiting, honestly, in those situations. And so, and that's worked okay. It's not been a perfect thing. The other problem you get when you buy a company is you have to integrate your culture into that company. And the people, they're coming in with a whole different set of values, possibly a whole different set of expectations and the way things operate. And you got to retrain that old dog new tricks, and it's hard. It's a hard process. So I would probably, around here, we would more have the tendency to hire the talent and build the division with the hired talent. I can't walk away from this, though, without making the negative comment that I think I'm getting my business advice from someone other than a banker who's never run a business. Bankers are funny. They seem to have opinions about a lot of things they've never done just because they loan money to people doing things they've never done. And so, no, your banker's not your business consultant. although I do happen to agree with this, as I said, it makes me a little cringy, but to have to do that. But that's, you're right. And yeah, so I think it's a good thing to revisit. One of the few times I've actually had ethical problems with a company in our space or in our backyard that we were quote unquote friends with is I look up and 3 of our people are working over there, and they're basically poaching actively, and they're supposed to be out of my team, and they're supposed to be our friends or our neighbors or something like that. And I've confronted a couple of CEOs in that situation. Like, you're supposed to be, like, you came over to our office and said, you wanted to be friends, and we were doing all these things, and then I look up and you're freaking stealing my people. That ain't cool, man. So that is an ethical thing as far as I'm concerned. It's not technically illegal. It's just, I wouldn't, let me help you. Let me go a step further, okay? There are now classes being taught, which is also humorous, at the university on business ethics. Let me help you with business ethics. Almost all your business ethics can be solved by saying, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Jesus' golden rule. So, and so I would not want someone actively poaching my organization that I call friend, and so I don't actively poach their organizations. As a matter of fact, I won't even talk to them. I'll give you an example. The way that Jeremy Boring, who's the president of Daily Wire, where Ben Shapiro is and others, and Jordan Peterson, the way he and I became friends was that they hired one of our people, and we didn't even have this relationship. I didn't even know him. I just knew they moved to Nashville. I mean, I met him one time. I was on Ben's show, but I mean, we weren't like, and they actually hired one of our people, and he called me up like freaking out, apologizing. And he and I are instant friends after that, and have been ever since. And so, and I said, listen, it's no problem. I'll do it. And if somebody wants to go to work over there, we'll let them. That's fine. But your recruiters actively, and this guy wasn't even poached. He just applied over there and left and went over there. And he's a good guy. He's a friend. He's still over there. I know him. And it's fine. No problem. But it freaked Jeremy out because he's like, we don't do that. And I'm like, that's a high standard of ethics right there. I really like that. And so the Daily Wire folks and us have traded ideas and done a bunch of stuff together ever since. And just as an example. And that's actually the first time I ended up spending a lot of time with Jeremy, and we've done a bunch of other things together since then. So the traded ideas and, developed a whole relationship off of someone actually having good ethics. There you go. A good mindset on that. So it's good that you're concerned about that, Heber. It takes you in the right direction for sure. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.